Josh and Jaylen, y'all are in a bigger fight over a music festival, over Burning Man, than you're in over the fact that he lied about unfollowing his ex and DMing her. A music festival is what's going to tear y'all marriage apart? Let's jump into it.
Forgive him. Yeah.
I don't buy
Yes.
it. What is forgiveness to you?
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and I would greatly appreciate if you would consider supporting the channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Also, please hype the videos if you have hypes. It's the beginning of the week, so you should. And if you don't know how to hype, go down to the bottom of the screen, comment section on your mobile device, scroll over, and you should see the option to hype the videos. Thank you so much to everybody that has been engaging and supporting the channel. We are getting so close to 10K. I can feel it, and it might be kind of a lofty goal to get there by the end of the year, but I hope that we can do it. Today, we are going to talk about Married at First Sight, Season 19, Episode 9, and I feel like this was another meaty episode, so I want to get right on in. So we get a little montage in the beginning of the episode of all of the couples opening up this box of toys for the boom boom that the experts have given them. Some of them say they've never done it. Belinda says that she did a lot of that in her younger years. Derek's like, I don't use that. Will's pulling out all the toys that he's used before, but okay, child. You know these experts, they love some boom boom. So we get a little more into Chad and Belinda, and they are going to a brewery.
I believe we really care about each other. And I love her. It's surreal. We've only got 3 weeks until decision day.
Belinda does open up a little bit more about her childhood. She's talking about growing up in a small town that was around, I think she said, an hour from Corpus Christi. I never been to Texas, so I don't know, but that's what she said. In either case, is it just me, or did Chad not look that interested? Like, I feel like he wasn't rude about it. I feel like he wasn't disrespectful, but it definitely gave he did not know what to say in the conversation, because he was like, oh, cool, okay. That's nice. Either way, Belinda says for her that she got married to have a safe landing place, and she does feel like that is Chad. Right now, it does seem like the two of them are pretty connected. It seems like they're both all in, and they just laugh and joke a lot about different things. Chad is actually from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but he grew up in Rhode Island, and I was like, I heard it. I heard the accent, because I'm from Massachusetts, and I feel like the Rhode Island, Massachusetts accent is very similar. But in either case, they play blocks. They're having a lot of fun, and for this couple right now, at least, it seems like they're in a good spot. Overall, Chad said that he loves Belinda, and he never wants her to question whether or not he loves her. And again, Chad, I believe you for now. I believe you for now. As y'all clocked in the comments, and as I've been saying as well, I feel like Chad, he knows how to get into relationships. He's very all in when he's in the beginning of a relationship. I just feel like keeping his interest is the difficult part. So Josh and Jaylen, they are meeting with Dr. Pia and Pastor Cal after the whole situation about him lying about the ex.
It was just frustrating because it's like, it was just unnecessary to me, you know? But it's not like there's this worry of like, oh, what's still going on?
For Jaylen, she says that it's not necessarily the fact that she believes that Josh is cheating on her or sneaking around with the ex, but it's more so the fact that he is lying and being a yes man and just kind of telling her anything to make her happy. In Josh's eyes, he says that, look, I panic responded, that I unfollowed her even though I didn't, which I'm like, red flag. I know people like this who they panic respond and they say anything and they're so afraid to make somebody else upset, and it doesn't matter. A lie is a lie. You could be in a situation where you did do something and you're going to panic respond that you didn't do it. A lie is a lie. Now, Pastor Cal is like, so do you forgive him though? Since you think he's not going to do anything, since he did apologize here, do you actually forgive him? And Jaylen's like, yeah. He's like, okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. You have to be true. You have to tell the truth. Okay, marriages don't work, people do. And I'm like, Pastor Cal, like, I feel like these experts sometimes, the advice they give is just so, read the room. It feels very tone deaf. This man just lied to her, and she's automatically supposed to jump in and be like, okay, it's cool. But they continue to press Jaylen about what the actual issue is and why she doesn't trust Josh if it's not because of thinking that he's doing something. And she says, well, I just feel like he's being a yes man. And I feel like he's going to say anything to make me happy. And I feel like that is not going to work in a relationship for me. They then jump onto music festivals and Burning Man. And basically Jaylen says that for her, music festivals are not her thing. It's not something that she would want to get into, but that's something that's super important for Josh.
I don't want to go to a bunch of festivals. I don't want to go to Burning Man. Like, I'm all for going to shows every now and then, but like big festivals.
That you were open to it. I got really, really excited to experience that with you, but it doesn't feel good to hear you say.
So they ask her, is it something you've ever tried before? She's like, well, I've been to like a show. And look, I'm not gonna lie to you. When you catch me camping outside for a music festival, absolutely not. And this comes from me liking nature. I like taking walks. I like going hiking, but I will not be camping out in a tent. So I understood where Jaylen was coming from. It's also not a one-day thing. We find out during this conversation, it's like a 7-day festival. Absolutely not. Just like the people that go out for Coachella, absolutely not. So in their conversation, they're asking Josh about it and how he feels. And for Josh, he's basically like, this is something that I've done as self-expression to find a community. Of course, you know, I'd be cool never going again. I understand if that's what I need to do to save the marriage. And Jaylen's like, but I would never want you to do that. I would never want you to feel like you can't go again. Honestly, at this point, I would want to feel like you should go find the right person for you that you can enjoy this with, because it can only take so long from being separated from your hobbies before you just decide anyway that you're going to want to be with somebody else who you can relate to. Josh is like, I don't marry people for their hobbies. And honestly, I kind of hate the fact that you're already ready to check out of the marriage, basically, or you're telling me to go find somebody else over hobbies. I don't marry people specifically for hobbies. And you know what? In that, I will give it to Josh, because I feel like that was a very avoidant thing that Jaylen did, where it's like, girl, okay, you guys don't relate on music festivals. There's 1,000,001 other things in the world that you guys can relate on. Why would you automatically think that because you don't want to go to a music festival with him that the marriage is going to be over? And on top of that, we are going more in on the fact that she doesn't want to go camp out for Burning Man. Then we're talking about the fact that this man lied about following and DMing his ex. Let's keep that in mind. What are we doing here? But Dr. Pia is thrilled by Josh's maturity in this situation, and she expounds and says, yeah, it doesn't define him. It's simply just the feeling that it gives him when he goes to Burning Man. So it could be possible that you guys could find something that you both relate to together. I feel like Jaylen got very insecure about this for some reason, where she kind of felt like Josh would be willing to leave her over this thing, where I'm gonna be real, I don't think we got that based off of this situation. And for as much as Jaylen says, oh, I don't believe anything's going on with the ex, or he would leave to be with the ex, or he would leave to be with someone else, it kind of feels like she does. And she's using this music festival situation as a scapegoat to be like, well, you're gonna leave me if I'm not into your interests. No, you're just afraid that he's gonna leave you because you're not the kind of person that he wants. And I'm assuming that all started based off the fact that he was talking to the ex secretly. I don't know. It just feels like they're having the wrong conversation, in my opinion. Derek and Megan, they're doing a cold plunge. Nothing much there. Derek basically says it takes him a while to say the word love, that he loves someone, but this is his person for life. At this point, I don't get the semantics of saying the actual word. You're saying you want to have kids with her. You're sure you want to have multiple kids with her. You're saying she's your person for life. You love her. You love her. Just say it, Derek. Then we go back to Josh and Jaylen. Dr. Pia and Pastor Cal are leaving, and they are talking after the conversation. Josh explains that for him, it is a little bit difficult to process this compromise of Jaylen never going to Burning Man, because it is something that is a part of him, and he wants her to experience it as well. But he knows that there's something that they could probably find as a middle ground where they can both enjoy it. It just might not happen before decision day. So is Jaylen okay with that? He expands to say, it is a little bit frustrating because I feel like I tried cycling, I tried your hobby. She cuts him off and she's like, okay, cycling is 45 minutes a week. This is a 1 week camping trip. And I'm like, oop, here we go. We're already doing the tit for tat. Sure, you guys have both tried each other's hobbies. Jaylen went skydiving. Josh has tried cycling. At the end of the day, if she doesn't want to go to the music festival, she doesn't have to. Josh just explains again that he was hoping that she would want to try it. Jaylen's like, okay, but when we were on the honeymoon, you said it wouldn't be a big deal if I wasn't interested in trying it when you explained it to me. Then they roll the camera back. Okay, you know they love to do that. And it is true that Josh did say that it wasn't gonna matter. And again, I think a lot of this is a greater issue that Josh is a yes man. And as I said, I know yes men types like Josh where they'll act like nothing's wrong. Everything's cool as a cucumber. Everything's good. It doesn't matter. No, I don't care about anything. But then these are the same people that end up blowing up when eventually they tell the truth about how they feel. And it does kind of end up blindsiding the other partner because it's like, you said everything was chill. You said everything was cool. When I asked you, you said everything is fine. And I don't really think that's fair to put on another person because nobody's a mind reader. As adults, we should be able to have simple conversations and simple honesty about what we want in a relationship and what we want out of a partner. And if you choose to kind of evade that or skirt around it, you can't get mad now that that wasn't your real feelings. So I get a little bit of Jaylen's frustration. Do I think Jaylen was being snippy a little bit? I do, but I do get where she's coming from as well. So Josh starts going in again and he's basically like, okay, so what if you weren't able to do cycling though?
Want me to be a cycle instructor anymore and do my job and my passion? Like, I don't see us working. I don't.
You would probably feel some type of way. Well, if I couldn't do my passions, I wouldn't work. This wouldn't work. And I know it wouldn't work for a fact. Kind of understood the sentiment of what she was saying, where for her, if she was unable to do her passions due to the marriage or due to somebody else, that she knows for a fact for her, that would not be okay. So again, she's having trouble conceptualizing the fact that Josh is like, well, it's all cool. This is such a big part of me and we can find something else. And again, do I think that Burning Man is the be all end all? I don't, but I also think it's the greater issue that Josh is not upfront about his expectations. Josh then tries to explain that the main thing he's getting at is that they are both passions for both of them, that they are both really, really invested in them. Jaylen rolls her eyes
At me. Don't ever roll your eyes at me, because I find that very disrespectful. This isn't something that you just roll your eyes about. Like, this is something that's passionate about me, and then you didn't let me finish my sentence.
which I do think is rude. And Josh is like, don't ever roll your eyes at me. Okay, do not roll your eyes. That's very disrespectful. You want to talk about disrespect? I think that's disrespectful. And I'm like, that's fair. I'll give it. I was like, okay, big Josh, not the little one, I guess. Because I was like, whoa, what happened here? But then Josh starts to cry. He starts to cry and he gets very emotional about thinking about giving up Burning Man and never going again. And I'm like, did I miss a part of this conversation where Jaylen said that Josh could not go to Burning Man? I don't know. Maybe I am missing something here, but as far as I understood, she said, look, this is your thing. You can go to it. You can do it. I'm not going to be doing it, but if it's going to become a problem that I'm not doing it, then maybe we need to talk about it. But I don't think anybody said anything about giving stuff up. And again, he goes into how this is not a deal breaker for him, but it is very challenging. He's an introvert at heart. He's not somebody that particularly is good at finding new communities. And Jaylen says, but I am though. I am somebody who naturally gravitates to different groups and is able to get into different things. So let me be that person in our relationship. Overall, they seemingly kind of hug it out for right now. And again, I'm just stuck on the fact that a music festival is going to be the thing that tears y'all apart. A music festival. And I say this as someone that loves going to concerts, loves going to shows. Does my partner like to go to every concert and show I go to? Absolutely not. And that is okay. It'd be one thing if he was telling me, don't go. I'm not going to be with you if you go to this. But the fact of the matter is, I didn't see that anywhere in here. We get a couple of scenes of Chad and Belinda at the nail salon, Britney and Will at the gym. Britney's really happy that Will was willing to do this with her because she loves it. I think we also see Derek and Megan playing ping pong or something like that. So then we get to Pat and Rhonda. They are going to go to Rhonda's dad's grave. He passed away when she was 19. So she's in the car. They are talking a little bit about her childhood, about her father. And then Pat is about to miss the turn. So she's like, hey, take a left over here. Pat's like, oh, okay. Getting back to the conversation.
My parents had moved to Bernie, is what I said.
I'm trying to drive, I'm trying to hear as much as I can, but I can't process all of it.
You said that you lived here at this point. She's like, I'm past that. I'm past that. What I was actually talking about was, and I'm like, here we go again. Like, girl, he's driving. You literally just stopped in the middle of the conversation, told him to take a turn. He got the town wrong that you lived in. Okay? As I've already said, Rhonda is just mad that she's not the center of attention. Rhonda is extremely self-centered and she's extremely about herself. For all the time she talks about Pat not listening to her, not feeling seen, we barely see Pat talk. We barely see Pat even talk about things. It's always Rhonda going on and on and on. Rhonda swears she's the most interesting person in the room. And she's mad that Pat is also a person that has a life and has a story. Rhonda is very bad at conversation. She's not a good conversationalist at all. So Pat apologizes and he basically says, look, I was driving. I was trying to hear the directions. I was trying to hear what you were saying. It was just a lot going on at one time. I just said the wrong town, basically. And again, not a big deal at all. Rhonda continues talking. First, though, we hear in the confessional that she says 1 month later, after the 1 month, we still are at a point where I don't feel heard. I don't feel seen. I don't feel like Pat is paying any attention to me. Rhonda keeps on going about her dad. She starts to talk about Playboy and how he had all these magazines, I believe. And Pat's like, oh yeah, my dad had a stack of Playboys in his closet as well. And Rhonda's like, I was just opening up to you about my family. I was just opening up to you about my dead father. So why did you turn it back to you again? I was just being vulnerable with you. And I'm like, Rhonda, as I said before, Rhonda doesn't know how to have conversations with people that can actually converse. Rhonda is used to talking at people, not talking to people. Because that's what banter is, Rhonda. People will try to relate to you by also bringing up things that they share with you, things that they relate on. But as I said, Rhonda talks at people, not to people. And remember, her kids at the beginning were like, sometimes she could be very her way or the highway. You need to remember to let him have good ideas as well. Let him talk as well. And we are definitely seeing that. So they get to the gravesite. They're starting to sit down. They put flowers down. And Rhonda's like, is there anything you want to say? And he's like, nice to meet you. And you see a look on Rhonda's face that wasn't what she wanted to hear. And I'm like, Rhonda, Pat doesn't even know this man. Never met him. And you guys just met a couple of weeks ago. No shade, no tea, but what is what is Pat gonna say to your deceased father that he never met and he barely even knows you? Because you could see the look on her face. And she's like, can I get a minute alone? So in her confessional, as Rhonda's at the graveside alone, telling her father, this is so hard, yada, yada, yada. Pat's like, look, I see that she has very heightened emotions right now. Even in the car, I could tell that she was very heightened about this situation. So right now, all I can do is give her the space that she needs. So they get back in the car, starts listing off some different facts about when he passed away and what kind of guy he was. And Pat is like, can you remind me again what year your father passed away in?
That's what I just said, Pat.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I'm trying to process information.
And she's like, I just said that, Pat. I literally just said that. I'm like, do you forget that y'all two are also older? And the memory be going a little bit when you're older. Because let's be honest, Rhonda, you don't remember every single thing either. Sure, you remember your own life, but what do you remember about Pat? Because we don't ever see you listing off things about Pat's life on the show. I'm about done with Rhonda. No. So they actually pull over to talk because at this point, I feel like Pat's about fed up as well. And Pat's like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. When you scold me, it makes me feel very small. It makes me feel very disrespected. And honestly, it makes me really want to retreat back and not even bother to be in these conversations. He goes on to say, I feel like you are constantly testing me. And I was like, thank you, Pat. Yes. Thank you. Exactly. Everything's a test with Rhonda. Everything is, oh my goodness. Well, why don't you want to know my whole life story and more? Well, why don't you want to know this? Well, why don't you want to know that? Rhonda is constantly trying to catch this man doing something wrong. Rhonda goes on again about how important it is for her to feel seen, for her to feel heard. That's something that means the most to her in relationships. And Pat doubles down again and is like, yes, I do apologize that I didn't make you feel seen. I didn't make you feel heard. But I feel like I am being tested. And I like how he brought that up again. Because again, Rhonda's always derailing conversations. Rhonda has zero self-awareness. Because I'm like, all the things you claim Pat does, you do that, Rhonda. Rhonda's like, I heard it and I apologized. And I'm like, the amount of snippiness this woman has is insanity. No wonder you've been single for 25 years. I'm gonna just say it out loud. No wonder you haven't been able to find anything for 25 years. Because Rhonda, it's Rhonda's world or it's no world. Like, truly, it's her way or the highway, as her kids said. Her kids done clocked her in the first episode. Either way, they keep on going back and forth over and over again, and eventually they reach the point of being like, yeah, we both have to try. We're both in on this. As long as we're both putting the work in every day, we can get there, and they seemingly are good. Will and Britney are meeting with Dr. Pia and Pastor Cal. For Britney, she felt like by this point they would be very in love, but there's some kind of block going on where they're not quite there yet. So they ask, like, how are you guys doing? Have you been having good days, bad days? Will is like, no, every day's been good. I'm getting about tired of Will too. Because I know that Britney has her moments, but Will is annoying. He's annoying and he's condescending, and I'm tired. So Britney explains that her issue is she's not sure where they stand 100%. And the experts are like, what you mean? What do you mean? She's like, I'm not sure about his feelings. I'm like, what is there for her to explain? She said it. Will, condescendingly, well, you ask me every other day about decision day. And I tell you every time that if the answer was yes today, then I'd be cool. But I'm not sure how things are going to be in a month. Like, okay. Britney then says that for her, she feels like if she does or says any little thing wrong, that Will's automatically going to change his mind. And so Will is like, he goes on a whole monologue.
Right. You need to give us both opportunity. I mean, if that is the case where things don't work out or things aren't great, at least we can say we were ourselves rather than...
Oh, no, I've been myself.
And he's like, but it's a disservice to you. You know, you're doing a disservice to yourself if you're not honest and you're not upfront about every single thing. I mean, how bad would that make you feel as well? If anything, no matter whether it works or it doesn't work, at least you could say that you were yourself. I'm like, shut up. Like, truly? Shut up. So Dr. Pia is like, did you miss the part where Britney said she was uncomfortable? And that she feels like she kind of has to walk on eggshells around you because she feels like you might leave for any little thing. The experts go on to ask him if he knows how to or wants to provide an environment where Britney feels safe. And he's like, I just found out. How am I supposed to do something if I just found out? I'm like, ooh. They switch gears a little bit and Pastor Cal is like, okay, so have you talked about after decision day and what things will look like? Have you talked about where you guys are going to live? And Will's like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm cool with living at her place, but I'm still keeping my place. And they were like, right there. Right there. You said keeping my place. Britney, how does that make you feel? So Britney says, well, it definitely makes me feel like he's going to still have his place in the background just in case he wants to get out or he wants to go away from things. And again, the nonchalantness is a lot with Will. It's a lot. He's very condescending. And I think over time, it does start to wear on you. It does start to wear on you when your partner has this type of demeanor all the time. Because yes, I do think Britney needs a high level of validation, but during this episode, a lot, I saw that Will is pretty cold. He makes a lot of comments where I would probably feel unsure as well if I was actually in the situation. He goes into the reason why he wants to keep his place, though, is because it's close to the airport. He travels for work. Also, if they want to go into the city, he lives closer to downtown. And they're like, oh, well, so now you notice, though, that it was very divisive the way you said my place. Now, the way you explain it, it's a place for both of you guys if you want to do certain things. But before, it definitely sounded like this is mine and I'm keeping it and you can be there or I'll be there, but that's you. Now you make it seem like it's a place for both of you guys. And I'm like, sure. It's not like Will's not going to be sleeping there every single day. It's not like Will's going to not, be like, I got a work trip anyway, and then just pop back over there. Brittany, say no to this man, okay? Because for as much as I think you got stuff to work on too, girl, he don't like you. He don't like you. And I'm tired. So the experts encourage them yet again to both be vulnerable. Brittany gets a little emotional and they ask her what's up. And Brittany says, I'll be honest, I didn't think that I struggled with vulnerability. And now I'm realizing that maybe part of the reason why I feel this block in the relationship is because I'm not being vulnerable. And I'm like, Brittany, it's not only on you. Will is also extremely guarded and distant. He just is condescending to mask all of it. So it's not just on you, girl. It's also on him. Megan and Derek, they have their meeting with Pastor Cal and Dr. Pia. Only thing of note there is that they said that he finally said, I love you.
Yeah, I would say that we have had a lot of ups, downs and everything, communication and getting to know one another. Yeah,
And now they feel closer than ever. He said that he feels like all the walls came down, that she can feel safe and comforted. And congratulations, we knew. You already have been acting like you love her. You're just holding it back for whatever reason. Next, Pat and Rhonda. They're eating a pizza at their shared apartment. Rhonda says that she's been thinking a lot about why feeling heard and why she wants her partner to be curious about her and have all this interest and validate all of her life stories is so important. She says that it's because she has a fear of not being chosen. She goes into how her father wanted a boy, but instead he had two girls. Her sister was more of a tomboy, so he would take her to private tennis lessons. They would go hunting. And for Rhonda, she always felt like he was choosing her. Even though they didn't have a lot of money, father would invest a lot of money. And she's been in some terrible relationships where she's been yelled at up and down, where she's had partners that have treated her terribly. So for her, when Pat doesn't inquire and ask all these long questions and can't pass every single test that she's throwing at him, she feels like she's not being chosen. Okay, Rhonda. You are 63 years old, Rhonda. If you still have that kind of trauma from your childhood, are you not working with a therapist to help you out with that? I understand someone in their 20s, someone in their 30s, maybe someone. Rhonda, you are 63 and you're telling me that the reason why you treat this man like this is because of trauma from your childhood? Go see the lady, Rhonda. Go see the lady. Pat apologizes yet again for putting her in that position, for making her not feel seen, for making her not feel chosen. There's nothing we've seen Pat do that indicates that he does not choose Rhonda. It's the Rhonda show. But he does validate her again and let her know that he does choose her and he is choosing her every single day. Will and Britney, they're at a function at Britney's family's house. Britney's family, very rambunctious. They seem like a fun bunch, to be honest. They seem very extroverted.
My family's just out there. They're rambunctious.
There's a lot of different people. Very cool, very fun. But anyways, Will is the first guy that has ever been to Britney's family's house and met her entire family. And once again, Britney reiterates that she didn't understand that she struggled with vulnerability. So she hopes that Will meeting her family and getting to be in sort of these more intimate settings will show that she is trying to show who she is and let those walls down. Now they're looking at some baby pictures with Britney's mom, and there's one picture of Britney smiling. She looks really happy. And Will's like, why don't you smile like that anymore? And I'm like, here he goes again. He's always making comments about how she don't smile, how she's upset. Again, I get it. I get how after a while that stuff is so grating. I'm tired of Will. Will's annoying me. And I'm not with the man. But in either case, Britney's like, I do smile. It just seems completely unprovoked. Then her mom is like, well, she was a really bubbly baby. She was really happy. And Brittany's like, I'm still like that. And Will's like, okay, we'll call it that. He's always slick talking about her. It's annoying. And Brittany's mom's like, okay, back to the pictures. It was so awkward. Her mom was like, okay. But in either case, they talk a lot. Brittany's mom cannot believe she's married, that she's like this. She's never met any of Brittany's partners. So for her mom, it's a little bit of a shock to see her in this way. Will says that he's usually very introverted. So for him, he's happy to be able to come into these environments and have fun with Brittany's family. They're a loud bunch, etc. Whatever. Then we get a diary cam of Megan and Derek. Start off telling us, oh my God, we got some unexpected news. We didn't know what was going on. Oh my goodness, this was definitely something that we were not planning for.
These 2 tests, and they both
pregnant.
came back completely positive.
And we were not.
Y'all already knew what they were talking about. Derek holds up 2 pregnancy tests and he said, we took these 2 tests and we're pregnant. And I'm like, Lord have mercy. Derek says this inspires him to be a better man. He wants to do any and everything he can to care for his kid, to care for her. And I'm like, sure. Do not spoil the rest of the show because I haven't seen episode 10 yet, but that is where we end episode 9. So if you made it to this point in the video, that means you liked the video. So I would greatly appreciate if you would consider supporting the channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. It helps to get the videos out there and it inspires me to keep creating. In addition to that, please hype the videos. If you have hypes left for the week, check out my Squid Game The Challenge video if you haven't seen that. And I will talk to you guys in the episode 10 recap. Bye.